Autzen Stadium has its magic. And on Saturday night, so did Oregon quarterback Dillon Gabriel. In Autzen Stadium's first ever top 5 matchup, Gabriel threw for 341 yards and tallied 3 total touchdowns, leading the Ducks to a 32-31 win over Ohio State. Some people in the sports commentary world say championship teams are defined by their resilience. And on Saturday night in Madison, Wisconsin, Oregon football showed just that. Oregon softball kicked off Big Ten Conference play with a 2-1 series win over the Washington Huskies. Sophomore third baseman Katie Flannery recorded 8 total RBIs and 3 home runs, including her first collegiate multi-homer game. The underclassmen shined in Oregon volleyball's sweep over Maryland on Friday night. Redshirt freshman setter Kristen Klein and sophomore opposite hitter Noemi Glover clicked in front of the Matthew Knight crowd. The sun is finally out in Eugene, and with that comes the start of outdoor track and field season. Hayward Field played host to the Oregon Open this past Friday, where it wasn't just Division I athletes in the spotlight. Success on the basketball court can come in a plethora of ways. On Tuesday night against the Washington Huskies, the Oregon Ducks found that in their lineup depth. Oregon football's shot at another undefeated season was spoiled by the Indiana Hoosiers in a 30-20 point loss on Saturday afternoon. In a matchup that pitted 2 high-powered offenses against each other, it was the Indiana defense that made the difference, allowing just 267 total yards and forcing the Ducks to go 3 for 14 on third down. Oregon softball kicked off their showing at the Jane Sanders Classic with a 2-0 win over number 8 Florida State on Friday night. Sophomore catcher Bracy Rosa's 2-run homer was the only offense needed. Mixed with a stellar defensive performance behind the plate, she has been the lift this team needs. For decades, a hallmark of Oregon football has been their uniforms. This is no secret. We see it every weekend this team takes the field. But last Friday at Autzen Stadium, they meant a whole lot more. The Ducks played in their Stomp Out Cancer uniforms, ones that delivered the message of bringing awareness to cancer research. During a break and play on Friday night, 3 cancer survivors took to the field to ring the bell, symbolizing the end of their cancer treatment. After the game, head coach Dan Lanning spoke on the moment.
This game was definitely special for a lot of people, anybody that's been affected by cancer. You know, I couldn't help but notice the people ringing the bell out there on the field, and I remember that moment, what it felt like. So it was certainly special for our family, certainly special for a lot of people out there tonight.
These jerseys hold a much deeper meaning to the Lanning family. Coach Lanning's wife, Sophia, completed her cancer treatment in 2017. And after Dan took the job at Oregon 2 years ago, the project of having Sophia and her 3 sons design these uniforms was underway. Details such as the bell, the cancer cross, the ice cream cone, and many others were all created by the Lanning family. And the debut of these uniforms was something Oregon fans will never forget. In the words of the Lanning family, a world without cancer is like ice cream on a summer day. With Duck TV Sports, I'm Max Ragel. When senior night comes around at the end of the year, emotions are high and relationships are celebrated in front of a packed-out crowd. And in the case of Oregon women's basketball, a 77-58 point win over Rutgers to cap off the home slate. The Ducks finished with a 15-3 home record, good for their best since the 2019-2020 season. Head coach Kelly Graves started all 5 available seniors against the Scarlet Knights. This is how they did. Alexis Whitfield and Nani Falatea got the start on senior night as they led the Ducks through the first half, combined for 8 points and 7 rebounds. This was Falatea's 8th start of the year and Whitfield's 9th start of the year. But the headline in this one was Filipina Che. 20 points, 25 rebounds. Those 25 boards are good for her new career high and tied for the 3rd most in UO single game history, as Filipina Che absolutely dominated on her senior night. And Deja Kelly, she put up 19 points, shot 6 for 12 from the field, 6 of 9 from the free throw line. The Ducks had just an 8-point lead at the half, but Deja Kelly put up 12 of her 19 points in the second half to help lead the Ducks. And that backcourt duo of her and Peyton Scott combined to put up 27 points in the second half. Peyton Scott had 0 points at halftime, 15 points, all 15 of them coming in the second half, as Peyton Scott and Deja Kelly helped the Ducks cruise to a 77-58 point win on senior night. After the game, they hold a ceremony to help honor the seniors on the roster, as Sali Matu Kuruma did not play this season with an injury but was honored on senior night. That's great to see. Alexis Whitfield, the UC Santa Barbara forward transfer, has been a key part of the front court all year and will continue to be. Nani Falatea has stepped up when her number's been called, a much-needed shooting boost for the Ducks this year. And Deja Kelly, the point guard transfer from North Carolina, led the Tar Heels to 4 straight NCAA tournament appearances and looks to get 1 more with the Ducks this year. And Peyton Scott, a Cinderella run for her this year, missed last season with a knee injury and has been a pivotal part of the backcourt this season.
And last but not least, Filipina Che, number 6 on the all-time Oregon rebounding list, has been the rock in the middle. Emotions aside, this was a big win for the Ducks. Oregon looks to punch their ticket to the NCAA tournament with a possible at-large bid or a guaranteed spot with a championship in the Big Ten tournament. They have one more regular season bout in Seattle with the Huskies before their Big Ten tournament run starts on March 5th. With Duck TV Sports, I'm Max Ragel. The Ducks and Huskies Oregon-Washington rivalry is a fierce one in the landscape of college sports. On Tuesday, January 21st, the Cascade Clash took place at Matthew Knight Arena. Both men's basketball teams met for their first matchup of this season. Sparks fly every time we see these two schools meet, so let's see how it went. The Ducks are 15-3 on the year, and the Huskies are 10-8. The Ducks 4-3 in Big Ten play. The Huskies 1-6 in Big Ten play. And 15 seconds into this game, Jackson Shelstad, he gets us started off. Not a typical night that we've been used to seeing from Shelstad lately. Just 11 points on 4 of 10 shooting from the field. And the Huskies, they responded with a 10-0 run of their own just a couple minutes after that bucket. Wilhelm Breidenbach gets the bucket right there. He had 9 points on the night. And with the Ducks down by 3 with 14 minutes left to play in the first half, TJ Bamba gets the steal and Euro steps between two defenders for the tough layup. Him and Brandon Angel combined for 36 points on the night. And right here, with the Ducks down by 7, 9 minutes left to play in the first half, Bamba hits Angel in the corner for the 3. But the Huskies, they maintained the lead for the majority of this first half. With 4 minutes left to play, Zoom Diallo hits Tyler Harris for the backdoor cut and slam. But the Ducks rallied to take a 2-point lead into the break in what was a very tightly contested first half. But the Huskies, they came out hot out of the gate to start the second half. Zoom Diallo, the 5-star freshman, gets the tough bucket to fall right there. The combo of him and Great Ozabor combined for 38 points to lead the way for the Huskies. And the Huskies found themselves up by 1 point with just 10 minutes left to play. But it was Supreme Cook off the bench for the Ducks who made all the difference. The 5th-year Georgetown transfer finished with 13 points. He helped the Ducks bench outscore the Huskies bench 26-9. And the Ducks, they rallied off a 20-9 point run in the final 6 minutes of this game. They went on to win this game by 9 points as Shelstad puts the final nail in the coffin right there. 82-71. Then the Ducks, they moved to 16-3 on the season. A home win over a bitter rival is always sweet, no matter how you do it. But the way the Ducks did it in this game deserves some attention. Coming into this one, the point guard center duo of Jackson Shelstad and Nate Biddle were averaging 26 points per game combined. Against the Huskies, 18 combined points. After the game, Brandon Angel and Dana Altman talked about the depth of this lineup.
It's next man up. If someone's not playing well, I haven't been playing well, you trust your teammate to step in and fill that void. And trust is a big thing. Connectedness is something we talk about. But to get to your question, it's about depth, and depth is one of our greatest strengths. So on a night like this, Nate, Jackson didn't have their A game compared to what they've had, but we try to pick them up, and they've been carrying us through that road trip in the Midwest and the last couple of games, and they've been playing out of their mind. So when they got it going, we're going to look to find them, and then how you see tonight, like they look to find us.
Oh, we just played 8 guys tonight. All 8 of them, gave us significant minutes. We could have gone deeper, but I felt comfortable with the 8 that we were playing. And it's going to vary from game to game. Raheem was ready to go tonight, and so we could have went deeper, but I just felt like those 8 were giving us what we needed.
The Ducks look ahead to a 2-game road trip against Minnesota and UCLA with just 12 games left to play in the regular season. With Duck TV Sports, I'm Max Ragel.
Autzen Stadium has its magic. And on Saturday night, so did Oregon quarterback Dillon Gabriel. In Autzen Stadium's first ever top 5 matchup, Gabriel threw for 341 yards and tallied 3 total touchdowns, leading the Ducks to a 32-31 win over Ohio State. After the game, head coach Dan Lanning spoke on Gabriel's experience.
This guy's been a part of, some games that are really, really big moments. And, even though that stadium is packed, you feel like Dillon was out there operating with an empty place. An empty stadium, like this was Tuesday, like this was another practice, and just executing at a high level, be able to say the next play is the most important play. And he did that consistently tonight, focusing on what's next and how can he accomplish it.
Dillon Gabriel is no stranger to the spotlight. Now in his 6th year of college football, he knows how to put on a show when the lights are brightest. After the game, he shared his thoughts.
I think naturally you're put in situations, never the same, but pretty similar. And you just use your knowledge from past experiences to to your advantage. I've been in many games where it came down to a drive or two, and times you need points in the red area, and things don't change in that end. It just magnifies in big games of, third down, fourth down. I try to use my knowledge, as best as I can with this team and our guys. But we all help each other because they played a bunch of ball as well.
Next up on the schedule for the Ducks is a Friday night matchup with the Purdue Boilermakers next weekend. From Autzen Stadium, with Duck TV Sports, I'm Max Ragel. The sun is finally out in Eugene, and with that comes the start of outdoor track and field season. Hayward Field played host to the Oregon Open this past Friday, where it wasn't just Division I athletes in the spotlight. The meet was open to participation for anyone except high school students and younger. No affiliation with a collegiate program or club was required, giving all amateur athletes a chance to compete on the hallowed grounds of Hayward Field. The opportunity only comes around once a year, and the University of Oregon's Student Running Club jumped at the word.
We've had a couple opportunities in the last couple years, but we didn't know until maybe 2-3 weeks ago. Our coach Tom Heinonen, former women's coach here at UO, he likes to keep us in the loop with different schedules, and 2-3 weeks ago he gave us the nod, which was super exciting to hear.
It's a special opportunity for club members and everyone at University of Oregon here to be a part of something bigger than yourself, and you really get to showcase all your hard work on club at the best place on earth, Hayward Field.
With Duck TV Sports, I'm Max Ragel. Oregon football's shot at another undefeated season was spoiled by the Indiana Hoosiers in a 30-20 point loss on Saturday afternoon. In a matchup that pitted two high-powered offenses against each other, it was the Indiana defense that made the difference, allowing just 267 total yards and forcing the Ducks to go 3 for 14 on third down.
They had extra hats at the point of attack, and then in situations where we're having to throw for it, they did a great job defending the sticks. They were aggressive. Again, I think they're really well coached. They won the 50-50 balls. Some of those are really close as far as connection and how tight they are in coverage, but they did a good job being tight in coverage. We were trying to take the top off a couple times. They did a good job of being on top when we had those moments.
After a strong rushing attack against Penn State, Oregon was held to just 81 yards on the ground against Indiana.
Yeah, they did a lot of great schemes on defense. They had a great plan, and since we played them now, and it's going to be something that other defenses are going to try to do against us because they know that can be our weakness. So just got to attack it, get protection right, get the ball placement right, and we'll be good from there.
With the one loss to a top 10 opponent, a shot at the college football playoff is still in play for the Ducks. Oregon now looks to flush this game and prepare for a cross-country trip to Rutgers next Saturday. From Autzen Stadium with Duck TV Sports, I'm Max Ragel.